Good morning. It's Monday. Yeah, I'm back. You already know what it is. So go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the video. But I really wanted to make a video today, as you can probably see from the title. Is yoga and meditation the only contemplative practices? Well, the short and the long answer of that is no. So, one of my hesitations with getting into contemplative practices was that I really didn't understand, well, what are contemplative practices? Well, through reading, understanding, and really looking at this thing called the Contemplative Tree by Seaman, and now I'll link that below, I really started to understand that there were way more things, and some of the things I was doing that were contemplative, such as journaling, going on walks, going to a sacred space, going to a religious place. All those things can be contemplative. But one of the things I want to point out to everyone is that you don't necessarily have to call it contemplative, or it doesn't have to be on this chart or in some guru book for it to be a contemplative practice. And I'll give you two examples of that. And some of these are from when we were much younger. Now, they were not called a contemplative practice, but they could be considered one. One of those things was uh, if you went out to play later in the afternoon, your loved one would say to you, make sure you're in the house before the street light comes on. Well, how is that contemplative? Well, as the sun started to set, we would probably say to ourselves, I should probably start making my way home. But then you still wanted to stay outside a little bit longer. But then you heard the buzz of that street light come on, and all of a sudden you're like, all right, it's time for me to go in the house, right? Now, that isn't on this tree. You won't find that probably in many self-help books or about mindfulness or anything like that. But it can be a contemplative practice. The other one is that when some of us got in trouble when we were younger, we were told, go stand in the corner and think about what you did. And so some of us, we would kind of mope and go stand in the corner, and then you have to come back and you have to tell your parent or your loved one like why you did it and how you can improve. You get the point. But again, that idea of going to stand in the corner, a moment of reflection, understanding that you can come back and recenter yourself, is a contemplative practice. But again, you won't find that in any of these books, and most people won't even think about that as being a practice. But I'm here to tell you that it can be a practice. So put your kids in the corner when they're bad. Now, I also want to offer some things that may be contemplative that some of us do. And again, you don't need to necessarily make it fit into this book, in this chapter, or anything for it to actually be contemplative. So some of us like the idea of driving. And so we may go out on a day when we're frustrated or really need to think through some things, and we may go drive up a highway for a few hours, down and back, to help us to be able to kind of, as some people say, clear our mind. Some of us, we clean up. So we go clean up our bedroom when things are chaotic and messy. We may say, I need to clean some things up, kind of get organized. And there's a lot of evidence that shows that cleaning up your room is a great way to help you to really refocus and to kind of recenter yourself. The other example I'll give to you is going to the gym. Now, some of us go to the gym and we just kind of go through the motions of going to the gym, but you can make going to the gym a contemplative practice. And that is simply by making an intention before you walk into the gym. And so, for an example, you may say, today I intend to make sure I work out my heart. Or today I intend to give my all to every rep. And so you really focus on that full rep. And so, again, that can be a contemplative practice, but you may not find it in any book or in this self-help video, but you'll find it in this YouTube video, right? So I wanted to make this video because I often hear people say, well, I'm not that kind of person. Like, I don't meditate. Well, you don't have to do any of those things. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to name them as being a contemplative practice in order to find self-reflection, refocusing, restoring our energy. Because again, oftentimes we all need those kind of things to bring us back to kind of feeling right and to feel like we are ourselves. And so we may go take a bubble bath, we may go take a walk, we may go bake, we may go cook, we may invite people over for a party. And so the thing is, don't get caught up in the semantics, because they can be contemplative, but they are not necessarily in a book, or people may not talk about them as ways to be able to center yourself. And so I really wanted to offer you this today. Hopefully as you go through your week, you think about other things that you do or that is contemplative. So if you have other practices that you use that may not be in any book, Put those in the comments below. Let other people understand and know what you may use. So like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see y'all next week.